Hello friends, it's Sean O'Connell, the managing director here at Cinema Blend, and I am trying to get through all of the episodes of Game of Thrones before we get to the Season 8 premiere. I am a newcomer to the show, or a sweet summer child, as all of you in the comments are letting me know, and I am bringing all of my commentary and analysis and reaction to the surprises that are awaiting me in these episodes. I've made it through Season 3, Episode 2, and now I'm diving into Episode 3, which is called Walk of Punishment. And some of you guys had wanted me to speculate about what the title might mean leading into it. And since we just saw Jaime Lannister captured by Robb's forces, I'm going to guess that his march back to Robb's camp is the Walk of Punishment that's going to happen. So let's dive in together, find out if I'm right or way, way off, which tends to be the case with Game of Thrones. You're going to want to follow along on this journey with me as I work my way all the way up to Season 8. So go down, hit subscribe, turn on your notifications. Every time I post a new Game of Thrones video, you will be alerted to it immediately. So without further ado, why don't we jump into Season 3, Episode 3 together and figure out who is taking the Walk of Punishment. Oh, this guy's gonna light it on fire. I've seen this in other shows. Alright, third time's a charm, brother. Move, boy, move. Let a man do it. That's very funny. Watch, he'll hit it first try. Look how far away. He walks away. Mic drop. Ah, nice. Perfect.
Don't call him nephew. He's your king.
Robb knows I meant him no disrespect.
You're lucky I'm not your king. I wouldn't let you wave your blunders around like a victory flag.
My blunder sent Tywin's mad dog scurrying back to Casterly Rock with his tail between his legs. There's glory enough to go around.
It's not about glory. Your instructions were to wait for him to come to you. I wanted him to chase us, which he would have done because he is a mad dog without a strategic thought in his head. I could have that head on a spike by now. Instead, I have a mill.
New small council for the hand. He's two. Who's gonna kiss his feet? You fraud. This is a funny episode. This is a funny episode. Oh, all this is done without a single word of dialogue. Sit in his lap, Tyrion. Climb on the table like Elf. Run across it. Humor. It's a funny episode. This is a funny episode. Ugh, probably means it's gonna end brutally.
Intimate, lovely table. Better chairs than the old small council chamber. Conveniently close to your own quarters. I like it.
I love Tyrion.
Well, you'll leave for the Eyrie as soon as possible and bring Lysa Arryn into the fold.
But Lord Baelish's absence would present certain problems. The royal wedding may end up being the most expensive event in living memory. Not a good time to leave the crown's finances unattended.
Which is why I'm naming you new Master of Coin. It would appear to be a position that best suits your talents.
I have no doubt you will prove equal to this challenge.
We're about to leave.
But I'm staying. I made you something.
What is it?
It's Wolf.
Goodbye, Hot Pie.
Goodbye, Harry.
Hot Pie? That dude's name is Hot Pie? Has his name been Hot Pie this whole time?
You're a Lannister, aren't you?
Martin Lannister.
Always the artists.
Oh, Lord. That's a lot of horses. Oh my gosh.
You said there was dead crows.
There was.
How many men were here?
About 300.
And you know what those men are now. Talbot, climb the wall. Take this one. He knows Castle Black's defenses better than any of us. If he's useful, good. If not, throw him off the wall. When it's time, I'm going to light the biggest fire the North has ever seen.
Frozen crows. Smaller flock than you went north with. We can talk inside. Oh, can we?
Sam, you got back just in time. Is it a boy? Is it a boy?
What's his name?
That's a boy. That's a boy, all right. For the walkers.
Your sister's waiting for you.
I'll make you a lord of the Iron Islands for this.
We're not in the Iron Islands. Go.
Come on.
His sister hates him. I think he's riding into a trap.
You told me your magic requires a king's blood. I'm the one true king.
You are, but there are others with your blood in their veins. You will sit on the Iron Throne. But first there must be sacrifices.
The Walk of Punishment is a warning, Your Grace, for any slave who contemplates doing whatever these slaves did.
Okay, I was wrong.
Give me your water.
Bright, sunny, warm. You go north of the wall and it's like, oh, the worst.
Leave this place, Your Grace.
When your brother Rhaegar led his army into Battle of the Trident, men died for him because they believed in him, because they loved him, not because they'd been bought at a slaver's auction. I fought beside the last dragon on that day, Your Grace.
Rhaegar fought valiantly. Rhaegar fought nobly. And Rhaegar died.
Hard to argue.
Did you know him well, Sir Barristan?
I did, Your Grace. Finest man I ever met.
I wish I had known him. But he was not the last dragon. I want to buy them all.
Danny understands him.
The Dothraki you have are not worth what they cost to feed. But Master Krasnus will give you 3 unsalad for all of them. Master Krasnus asks how you propose to pay for the remaining 7,877 unsalad.
I have dragons. I'll give you one.
What?
You will win the throne with dragons, not slaves, Your Grace.
Khaleesi, please.
You're gonna give evil Ben Kingsley a dragon.
They want the biggest one.
Done.
What?
I'll take you as well. Now.
Oh.
You'll be Master Krasny's gift to me.
She's got a long play.
A dragon is worth more than any army.
Thank you.
Targaryen proved that.
I value your advice, but if you ever question me in front of strangers again, you'll be advising someone else.
Ooh.
Is that understood?
Do you have a family? Mother and a father you'd return to if you had the choice?
No family living.
You belong to me now. It is your duty to tell me the truth.
Yes, Your Grace, lying is a great offense. Many of those on the Walk of Punishment were taken there for less.
I offered water to one of the slaves dying on the Walk of Punishment. Do you know what he said to me? Let me die.
There are no masters in the grave, Your Grace.
Is it true what Master Krasnus told me about the Unsullied?
Once they are yours, they are yours. They will fall on their swords if you command it.
And what about you? You know that I'm taking you to war. You may be killed.
Valar Morghulis.
Yes.
What?
All men must die.
What?
But we are not men.
That's what that means?
Podrick?
Yes, my lord.
I finally found a suitable reward for the services you've provided. Have you ever been with a woman?
No, my lord.
Be back in time for my supper. For years, I've heard that Littlefinger is a magician. Whenever the crown needs money, he rubs his hands together and poof, mountains of gold. He's borrowing it.
What's wrong with that?
We can't afford to pay it back. That's what's wrong with it. It's the Iron Bank of Bravos. We owe them tens of millions. If we fail to repay these loans, the bank will fund our enemies. One way or another, they always get their gold back. You were gone a long time. I trust you got your money's worth, or should I say my money's worth? Oh, it was a gift, Podrick.
I won't take it, my lord.
What did you do to them?
Lots of things.
And they seem to like these things?
Yes, my lord.
Of course they seem to like it. They're paid to seem to like it.
Only they weren't paid.
What are you saying? These ladies enjoyed him so much they gave him the time for free?
Is that what you're telling us?
Good job, Podrick.
We're going to need details. Copious details.
You are riding into a trap, dude. So dumb. You're a target.
Take off his pants.
Oh! Oh!
Come, my lord.
Who is this?
You're a long way from home. And winter is coming.
Take her over there where it's dark. Like a little privacy.
Oh, brilliant. I told you this episode was going to end horribly. I told you. I said it's so funny at the start.
You know who she is, don't you? She's Brienne of Tarth. Every sapphire in Westeros was mined on Tarth. Lord Selwyn would pay his daughter's weight in sapphires if she's returned to him. But only if she's alive. Her honor unbesmirched.
Bring her back here.
Yes, my lord. Your father. He'd pay your weight in gold to get you back. You'll be a rich man till the end of your days.
Who told you this?
I wonder if you need to keep me chained to this tree.
Oh, you're an idiot. Don't do that. You're a fool.
This will do nice. I'm the stump.
Oh.
You think you're the smartest man there is? My father. And if you get in any trouble, all you've got to do is say, my father.
Ah, that's what I said. Oh. Not as I. Not as I. Not as I.
You're nothing without your daddy. Your daddy ain't here. Never forget that. Yeah, this should help you remember.
What? I did not see that coming. And had been talking about the fact that Jaime can almost talk his way out of anything because he can just rely on his father's wealth and power. Oh my gosh. Ooh, that's gonna have a lasting effect. Oh, he's no longer one of the better fighters. I wanted he and Brienne to have a legitimate rematch. That's not gonna happen. Let's talk a bit about Jaime actually negotiating to save Brienne. I think that he respects her. It shows he has honor to a certain extent. Like he's a lying, conniving. I'm sure he was ready to get a jump on those guys. I'm sure that was like his ultimate goal, but that just showed that they were a few steps ahead of him. He views most people as being below him, and for the most part, he's usually right. But he saves Brienne and then gets his hand chopped off in a Luke Skywalker type, just sliced, gone. Skywalker tribute. Damn. Prior to this, I was saying what a funny episode this one was. The bit with the arrows missing the funeral pyre boat, the bits with the chairs and the small council was really funny. The small council scene reminded us again of one of the hearts of Game of Thrones, the beating hearts of Game of Thrones, which is Starks versus the Lannisters. That to me, I think that's always going to be the driving force of the narrative. I don't know how long that's going to continue. Potentially, we're 3 seasons into this, and the Stark-Lannister beef is still pretty significant. So Robb Stark recognizes that he's still plotting against Tywin, chastises one of his generals for letting the Mountain go in a different direction, and Robb knows he needs to sort of chip away at Tyrion's forces because ultimately that's still the goal. Like, right, take down the Lannisters, take over King's Landing. Bran and Jaime, up to this point, have really interesting chemistry because it's not like a love interest type thing, but I do think there is mutual respect there. The way that they sort of goad each other. And again, the way Jaime, talks her way out of a sticky situation for her, knowing that she won't be able to necessarily fend off those guys. We caught up with Arya and Gendry, and we learned that guy's name was Hot Pie. For real, is that guy's name Hot Pie the entire time? Did we know this? I had no clue who that was. Moving that plot forward a little bit, Arya's still with Gendry. She's revealed now. She's out in the open. They know that she's a Stark daughter, which gives her a position of power, but also probably puts her in some type of threat too. We learned of the Walk of Punishment. While I guessed that it was about Jaime Lannister, it turns out that it's not. It's more a way that the slaves are paraded if they don't do what they're told, as Dany negotiates for slaves. And let's talk about this. The Unsullied, she's trying to get 8,000 Unsullied, 8,000 plus out of Astapor. And she trades a dragon. Like, Daenerys is not trading one of her dragons, especially not her biggest dragon. Like, these are her, she said this the whole time. I'm the mother of dragons. These are my babies. I have to believe she's got a longer play in place here, and there's going to be another couple of steps that fall. There's no way that Dany would just that easily trade her dragon. In fact, she's warned by her council, like, dragons will win you the war. Like, slaves are not going to win you a war. A slave army is not going to win you a war. She picks up an assistant over the course of this, and then we learn that the Vala Margulis which was that phrase that was given to Arya that she could go and say it with that coin. I forget the name of the place where she's supposed to use it, but it was where she was supposed to go and train. It stands for all men must die. All men must die. And that's interesting because when Arya met that guy, Jaqen, she had 3 lives that she could trade for, and he killed people that she said go kill them. So that's the literal translation, all men must die. And then, of course, Dany says, yeah, but we're not men, we're women. So we catch up with Jon Snow ever so briefly. He's still moving with Mance, and then Mance sends him and Tormund to the wall, and Tormund gets super excited. He says, "We're finally getting to war. We're finally going to war, old friend," as if to say that the forces in the north are going to take the battle to the wall. And I think he says, "Go over the wall, because it only protects one side, and I'm going to light a fire that's bigger than anybody's ever seen." So when the Night Watch get back to that village where Gilly's giving birth to her son, of course Sam gets to see that. Sam's smitten with Gilly, right? The son is a boy. Game of Thrones does a zoom in on baby penis to let you know this is a boy. He's going to be traded over to the White Walkers. We're reminded, anytime that we're in that little remote village, I can never remember the name of it, they're reminded that, look, you all can wage the fights that you're fighting, but the real threat is coming. It's winter. The idea of winter is just so devastating, right? Like, it feels like winter hasn't been there in 1,000 years. And when it comes, if you are weak at all or not aligned with the gods, if that's how you feel, it just chews you up and spits you out, right? Like, winter seems pretty horrible. And I think with winter also comes the White Walkers and the giants and everything that sort of comes with that. Theon is rescued, and I guessed being sent into a trap. Turns out might not be a trap, but again, I don't know who this guy is, and he might potentially be working for the sister. But when he saves Theon from getting raped by those dudes, he does say, "Come, my lord, you're a long way from home, and winter is coming." So it sounds like he's a Greyjoy, or someone from the Iron Islands, and he views Theon as a lord, and Theon hasn't acted like a lord just about any point over the course of this show. He's a chucklehead. And then there's that bit with Podrick where Tyrion pays for him to be with 3 women, and they don't take his money, which is intriguing to both Bronn and Tyrion. They want to know exactly what Podrick did. Now, is that meaningful, or is that just a funny aside? In the conversation with Tyrion and Bronn, though, Tyrion mentions something that I think is going to end up being really, really important, which is that the crown is in serious debt to something called the Iron Bank of Brothers. And he has a line that he says in there that I think is going to be pretty important later, which is that he says, if you're not able to pay them back, and right now the Lannisters are not, according to Tyrion, able to pay them back, they will fund your enemies. Somehow they're going to get their money back. That's a pretty significant, I think, tease, because we don't know who the Iron Bank of Brothers are, but if they have money, then they have power, and if they can put that power behind somebody else, Stannis or Daenerys, then that could be a bad move for the Lannisters. So let's find out where all of that goes. That was Season 3, Episode 3, Walk of Punishment. And because Jaime Lannister just lost his hand, I'm not going to wait very long to dive into the next episode because I need to find out what happens. So go down, hit subscribe, turn on your notifications, and as soon as I post the recap for Season 3, Episode 4, you will be told all about it as soon as it's posted here at Cinema Blend's YouTube page.